Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CISSP Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the ISC Squared CISSP exam with focused explanations and practical context. In this episode, we are going to break down the various roles and responsibilities that exist within organizations when it comes to cybersecurity. One of the most important things you can understand as a future certified information system security professional is who is responsible for what. Cybersecurity is not a one-person job. It is not even a one-department job. It requires cooperation across every level and every department of the organization. From top-level executives to entry-level technical staff, each individual and each group plays a part in keeping systems secure, data protected, and operations resilient. Knowing how responsibilities are structured helps ensure that no critical tasks fall through the cracks. It also ensures that accountability is maintained and that people are equipped to take action when needed. Whether you are leading a security team, supporting risk assessments, or simply helping your coworkers understand their part in the organization's defense, clarity about roles is essential. Let us begin with the executive and leadership roles. These are the individuals who sit at the top of the organizational structure. They include chief executive officers, chief operating officers, chief information officers, and of course, chief information security officers. Each of these leaders contributes to cybersecurity governance by providing vision, direction, and support. Executives do not need to understand every technical detail, but they do need to understand cybersecurity risks and how those risks can impact the organization's goals. The chief executive officer, for example, holds ultimate responsibility for organizational performance. That includes the consequences of cybersecurity failures such as data breaches, regulatory penalties, or operational disruptions. While the chief executive officer may delegate operational responsibility, they still set the tone at the top. If they prioritize security, others will follow their lead. The chief information officer is usually responsible for managing technology infrastructure across the organization. This includes systems, networks, and applications. The Chief Information Security Officer, however, is responsible for ensuring that all of those systems are protected from threats and compliant with internal and external standards. The Chief Information Security Officer's job is to translate security goals into operational requirements, define policies, and oversee the implementation of controls across the enterprise. Leaders also need to ensure that the security team has the budget, staffing, and executive support necessary to succeed. They must participate in high-level risk discussions, approve policies, and engage in ongoing oversight. Their active involvement helps foster a culture where security is not just an afterthought, but an integral part of how the organization operates. Let us now move into the management layer. Security managers serve as the bridge between executive strategy and day-to-day operations. These managers may lead security teams, oversee compliance programs, coordinate training efforts, or manage relationships with third-party vendors. Their job is to translate high-level objectives into specific policies, procedures, and actions. For example, if executive leadership sets a goal of improving resilience to ransomware attacks, it is the responsibility of managers to define what that means in practice. That might include updating backup procedures, running tabletop exercises, patching vulnerabilities, or rolling out multi-factor authentication. Managers turn broad goals into measurable projects. They are also responsible for coordination across departments. Security does not live in isolation. Managers must work with human resources to implement background checks and onboarding controls. They must collaborate with legal to ensure policies align with regulations. They must engage with information technology to verify that technical systems are configured securely. In addition to coordination, managers are responsible for reporting. They must track key performance indicators, summarize security posture, and present findings to executives in a way that supports informed decision-making. Managers play a pivotal role in integrating security into the organization's core business processes and workflows. Their ability to communicate, delegate, and supervise is just as important as their technical knowledge. Next, we will turn our attention to the technical and operational roles. These include the people working on the ground to protect systems, monitor activity, and respond to incidents. These professionals often have job titles like security analyst, systems administrator, incident responder, network engineer, or security architect. Each of these roles brings a different set of skills and responsibilities to the cybersecurity program. Security analysts, for example, are usually tasked with monitoring systems for suspicious activity, investigating alerts, and escalating issues as needed. They may use tools such as intrusion detection systems, security information and event management platforms, and endpoint protection software to identify and respond to threats. Systems administrators and network engineers focus on configuring and maintaining infrastructure. They ensure that servers, switches, routers, and other hardware are patched, properly segmented, and protected with access controls. They are responsible for enforcing security baselines and implementing technical controls as defined by policies. Incident responders are on the front lines during security events. When something goes wrong, they are the ones containing the damage, collecting forensic evidence, and supporting recovery efforts. Forensic analysts may conduct detailed examinations of systems to determine how a breach occurred and what data was affected. Security architects have a different focus. They take a step back and design security into the organization's systems from the beginning. This includes developing secure network topologies, choosing authentication models, and ensuring that systems can scale securely. They often work closely with development teams, infrastructure planners, and procurement specialists to make sure new systems meet security requirements. Each of these technical roles must work in sync. When responsibilities are clearly defined, tasks are completed more efficiently, gaps are minimized, and responses are more coordinated. As a CISSP, you must understand how these roles function and how to support their work through leadership, communication, and governance. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other podcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Let us now look at support and ancillary roles. While these professionals may not work in the security team, their work has a significant impact on cybersecurity outcomes. Human resources is one of the most important departments in this context. They are responsible for hiring processes, onboarding procedures, and ongoing training programs. Human resources conducts background checks, ensures that new employees receive security awareness training, and helps enforce policies related to acceptable use and insider threats. Legal teams provide support in a different way. They ensure that the organization complies with relevant laws, meets contractual obligations, and is prepared to handle the legal aspects of a data breach. This may include managing incident disclosure, responding to regulators, or supporting litigation. Legal professionals also review vendor agreements and contracts to ensure that security clauses are clearly defined and enforceable. Procurement and vendor management play a key role in third-party risk management. These teams must evaluate the security posture of vendors before signing contracts and ensure that performance is monitored over time. They help enforce security requirements in contracts and coordinate risk assessments with the cybersecurity team. Marketing and public relations teams are often involved during or after security incidents. They manage internal and external communications, shape the organization's public messaging, and work to preserve the reputation of the business. Their ability to communicate quickly and effectively can have a major impact on how stakeholders perceive a security event. The bottom line is this: cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. Every department, every employee, and every leader has a role to play. That is why defining and reinforcing roles across the organization is so important. This brings us to our final section, ensuring clarity and accountability in cybersecurity roles. Organizations must document who is responsible for what. This documentation should be clear, accessible, and regularly reviewed. It should eliminate duplication, avoid confusion, and ensure that critical activities are assigned to the right people. Role definitions must also evolve as technology, threats, and business structures change. What worked 2 years ago may not be sufficient today. That is why regular reviews of roles and responsibilities are necessary. Training is another important piece. Employees must not only know what their responsibilities are, they must also have the knowledge and skills to carry them out. This includes regular security awareness training, tabletop exercises, and access to up-to-date information about policies and procedures. Accountability must also be reinforced through performance metrics and evaluations. If someone is responsible for access control reviews, they should be measured on how well those reviews are completed. If a team is responsible for patch management, they should be evaluated on how quickly they address known vulnerabilities. At the end of the day, cybersecurity depends on people. It depends on their knowledge, their collaboration, and their willingness to take responsibility. As a CISSP, your ability to define, support, and lead these roles will determine the success of your organization's security efforts. Thank you for listening to the CISSP Prepcast by Bare Metal Cyber. Visit baremetalcyber.com for more episodes, comprehensive study materials, and personalized CISSP exam preparation support. Clarify your roles, enhance your responsibilities, and we'll support your success every step of the way.